Hello and welcome to the presentation for the Year 9 option for IT. Let me introduce our IT teachers. There is Mr. Sutton and there is also Mr. Razak. So far at Abbott Bain you've covered all three strands of computing. You've looked at computer science, where you've looked at programming and computational thinking. We've looked at digital literacy, where you've learnt about e-safety and how to use technology confidently. The other area is information technology, and this is the area we will now focus on, and it's all about using technology to make digital products. So we focus on IT and being creative with IT. In 2019, the UK creative industries generated nearly £116 billion. IT software and games generated £47 billion of this. As you can see, web-based products like websites were a key factor in this sector. So the course is the BTEC Tech Award in Creative Media Production. It's a practical course which will allow you to show off your creative IT skills. In Component 1, you explore what makes a good digital product, a product that will engage people. In Component 2, you develop a range of IT skills and techniques centred around making an interactive website. Component 3 is an exam which will allow you to showcase your knowledge and skills by making a digital product for a customer. We'll now look at the components. Component 1 is exploring media products. Digital media products can be split into three sectors: the interactive sector, the audio moving image sector and the publishing sector. We start by looking at all three sectors to understand what techniques are used to make a good product. In the second part, we're exploring more detail of the interactive sector. Assessment is through an internally assessed assignment. We need to understand that products have different purposes. It could be to entertain, to educate or to inform. They also have different audiences. So, how do we make sure our product is suitable for our audience and the purpose while still sticking to the conventions of that product? So, in Component 1, we look at what makes a good media product. You can only make a good media product if you understand what to make. So, we look at the content and purpose, the style and use of digital design principles, and also we need to be aware of any regulations and professional practices within the sector. So Component 2 is called Developing Digital Media Skills. What this means is you develop the skills you need to actually go away and make a good digital product. Now, the sector we focus on is the interactive sector, so we learn lots of skills about making interactive websites, but we also use skills from the other sectors. For instance, you might want to add an animation or video to your website. You will certainly want to create your own graphics. The assessment for this unit is again an internally assessed assignment. Part A of Component 2 is a series of skills workshops. In these workshops you develop the skills you need to go away and plan and make a product. So for instance, these are pre-production skills workshops. So this is the planning you would do before making your website. Things like mind maps, mood boards, wireframe. In the graphics workshops you will learn how to develop vector images as well as apply photoshopping techniques to bitmap images. We will look at animation, the making of icons, the making of buttons for your website. We will also look at interactive techniques for your website, so things like photo galleries or rollover buttons. So after learning all the skills in the workshops, in Part B of the component, you actually put them into practice. You're asked to make a website. So you go through the planning process. You make your assets for your website. So you apply your graphic skills. You then put it all together to make your completed website. In Part C of the component, you go back and you reflect and evaluate on the product you've made and the development of your skills. This is important as the next time you make a product, obviously you want it to be even better than the one you've just made. Component 3 is the exam unit, and this is where you can really show off the knowledge, skills and techniques that you've developed. In the exam, you are given a brief from another business, and it is your job to go away and plan and produce a website for that business. In the exam, you will need to show off as many skills and techniques as you can to create a website that meets the brief, is interactive, engages the target audience, is creative, follows conventions. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to know more, just contact Mr. Sutton or Mr. Razak.